Hi, everybody. This is Paul Fisher, starting my live broadcast for Sunday, May 6th, 2018, out of the Las Vegas area, Nevada. And it's going to be about TBC, which is just short for the billion coin. See, that's been out for 2 years. And it's different. It's unique than the other cryptocurrencies that you are probably familiar with if you're watching this video for the first time. The billion coin came out 2 years ago, March 21st, 2016. And instead of the purpose of it to be put on a trading market exchange, because you won't find it on Coin Market Cap, was to keep it private and to keep control, just a tiny bit of control, so that we can spread the wealth out of this coin worldwide and evenly. So the owner created an algorithm instead of anything else, along with the blockchain platform 1.0 that everyone else was using. That was all that was available 2 years ago. He created his coin and he mined a billion coins, and that was it. 1 billion coins. That's why we call it the billion coin. And the algorithm bases the price on people, okay, rather than just pure supply and demand or trading. It is based on you and I, okay, human beings, which are worth more than our weight in gold. Okay, we are humans. We're sentient. We think, we have feelings, we reason. Okay, we're extremely valuable. We're the most valuable creatures on this earth. So every time one of us, a human being, joins our membership, ask Nina. Every time a new member joins our community by just filling out an email and a name, that's all that's required. The email's got to be real, because we will send you 2 emails, because we're giving the coin away. Okay, why would we give the coin away? Because our algorithm is built on memberships. Every time a member joins our community, it raises the value of that coin by 1 grain of gold. Okay, now right now with the price of gold, that grain of gold would be about 2.2 euros, maybe 2.8 or $2.80 US dollars per coin. Okay, when we started, per coin. All right. And when we max out the price of our coin, it'll be when we have our first billion members. Okay. Now we designed it that way because this way we have enough coins to completely eliminate financial poverty worldwide. Okay. We not only have the ability to distribute the wealth evenly and create 1 million billionaires, including multi-billionaires, and then 1 billion millionaires, including multi-millionaires. But we can control how we do that. I mean, we started out with, it wasn't really an ICO. It was word of mouth back then, 2 years ago. And since we weren't going to say, hey, come and buy our coin, we're just getting started, and we're going to throw it on the market exchange, and it's going to double. Instead, we started out with only 100 people. 100 people that we had vetted, okay, so that we knew who they were. We knew what kind of people they were. And they came in, they were called stakeholders, and they purchased a certain amount. We only allowed them to purchase a certain amount of coins, but they still got them for dirt cheap, okay, which was fine. We knew what we were doing. And then it just went from there, okay? So we started off basically March 21st with about 171 members in 2016. A year later, about 4 days after the 21st, so about the 25th of March 2017, we had grown to, well, actually right then, a year later, we grew to about 97,500 members, 97,500 members, okay? So our coin was now worth a couple of $100,000 based on grains of gold. Nobody could buy a coin. I mean, not nobody, but, you know, very few people. But you can divide a coin, as those of you know about how cryptocurrency works, by 100 million. So pieces of our coin are called Kringles. Okay, pieces of Bitcoin are called Satoshi, named after the creator who called himself Satoshi Nakamoto of Bitcoin. So they named, you know, divisions or pieces of the coin Satoshi. Okay, the difference between, say, Bitcoin and the Billion coin, when it comes to what we're trying to do, is that not only is Bitcoin not in anybody's control whatsoever, no control, okay? It's in the hands of independent miners spread out all over the world. It's the plan. They can't do anything to change the plan. And Satoshi Nakamoto stepped back and stepped away and disappeared. You know, he was anonymous to start with, but he just stepped back and got out of it and said, hey, you know, here it is, guys, it's yours. And he handed it off to, I forgot what's his name, kind of partially, and then the miners, and that was it. Okay, but that needed to happen because that gave confidence to those who were beginning to get involved, including the miners, including anybody who owned Bitcoin, to know that he wasn't going to come along later on and change the plan. The plan that he had come up with was 21 million coins max. Okay, that would keep the price going up, supply and demand. Okay, and that's how it started. And it grew very, very slow because it was the first one. People didn't understand what it was. I didn't. I found out about it 2 years later in 2011. Internet money, what was that? It was crazy. Okay, unfortunately, I didn't pay attention. Not till 2016 when, you know, it was on the trading exchange and everybody was talking about it. The prices were getting up there and I was going, boy, you know, why are people accepting it? I saw people accepting it online and I said, there's something to this. I better check it out. I can't keep ignoring it. I know it sounds crazy, but I knew that I'm not bright when it comes to technology stuff. So I knew I should just dive into it in spite of, you know, the fact that it bores me to death. But I went ahead and found out about the blockchain platform, what it was, how it works, open source, which had been around already for years, and how the whole thing was done. And I said, wow, you know, this is real. In fact, this is future. This is future stuff. This changes everything. But there were limitations to it that I didn't quite understand and see because it was on the market. Okay, and I knew from already being passionate about the central banking system and having been raised with a knowledge of what it was and who they were, I knew how the stock market was manipulated by the wealthy for their benefit. And it was just a part of my life when I was growing up. My mom was into it, so that's what she talked about. I mean, in 1971, when I was just, I don't know, 13, you know, when Nixon took us off the gold standard, you know, she sat there and talked to us at the kitchen table dinner time. And it went, you know, with my brothers, but it sank in to me as like, really? Really? Okay, so our dollar's not backed by gold anymore. That paper money, you can't go turn that in. No, not anymore, Paul. You know, you saw what happened with the silver, right? Over the last 10 years. And yeah, the silver coins are not completely silver. There's a little bit of silver in the 50-cent pieces, the Kennedys, but then they took that out. And she goes, right. So she had been aware of it. So I was raised that way. So I took a look and said, well, geez, now they've put this coin a couple of years ago on a trading exchange. And yes, now we've seen an explosion in popularity, and it's good, but with not being able to control who buys the coin, the same thing is going to happen with the stock market. The rich are going to come in and buy up all the coin. It's going to raise the price up. People are going to come in because they want to make a little bit of money, and they're going to buy some coins, and it's going to go up. And if they're smart and they know what they're doing, and just like the stock market, you pull out after you make a certain profit, and you don't get caught. But then more people, they keep seeing it go up, and they say, oh, I got to get in. And they get in, and it's at the wrong time. They don't know how it works. So all those people get hurt when the wealthy start to sell on purpose. They dump. It's called a pump and dump. And they dump and they sell, and it causes a panic for those people that aren't aware of it, that they're just basically gambling. And they see their coin losing value and they sell, you know, to prevent complete loss. And those coins end up back into the system, and the wealthy, when the price gets low enough, buys them all back up. And now they've got more of your coin. Okay, and there's less coin for the masses, and they get wealthy again. They get all the wealth. That's what central banks have always been. They're private, owned by a few families. We've all heard of them, Rothschilds or Rockefellers, when they came over here and took over our system, and finally got the Federal Reserve Act passed in 1913. Okay, which has kept them in power now for the first time all these years. 105 years they've been in power with nobody being able to kick them out, because they got to a point where they were so strong, their structure was so strong in America, in England, and starting throughout the world, that they could do just about anything they wanted and nobody can stop them. No president anymore could stop them, like Andrew Jackson did. And I think one other president did, I'm not sure. Okay, and this is why today Trump and us, the patriots, who put him in office, relatively speaking, what was I saying? This is our purpose, is to destroy this central banking system that has enslaved us all these years, and we're going to get rid of them. And it's not going to be an easy job. But we've been preparing for this for many years, believe it or not. And we don't mind saying it, because the central banking system are so cocky and so structured and so set that they don't believe anybody can take them down. But so far, the battles that have started since Trump came into office, we've won every single one of them. Okay? Just take my word. We've won every single one of them. We're going to win in Syria. We're going to win in Iran. You just watch. We already won in North Korea. And we're winning in China. We already won in Russia. Russia's gotten rid of the US dollar almost completely. And the deep state has gone. That's why the central banking system and the deep state and the corporate media here demonizes Russia as an enemy, even though we've never been to war with them. Not even when they were communist countries, Soviet Union, we weren't at war with it. In fact, they were our allies in World War II, duh. Okay? They helped us get rid of the Nazis. Okay? And now they're not even communist. They're almost 90-something% Christian nation. Okay? They're our friends. Okay? But we play along with the game so that the deep state doesn't. And even though we talk about it, they don't believe. I can sit here and talk out all the truth I want right here on YouTube. They're not going to do anything about it. I'm not a threat. I mean, they don't believe it. They don't believe they can lose control because they got a lot of power. They do have an unbelievable amount of power. And there's a chance we could start losing and lose again. Here's the deal, though, when it comes to the central banking system and their debt-based economic system, it has to crash. They won't be able to prevent it because that's what they usually do. They keep you on the edge. They keep all the countries on the edge of defaulting, but they don't want them to default because that would hurt their image, right? The people will be able to say, hey, what's going on? Why are we defaulting on our loans to you? You said, this was going to be good for us. And they would blame the central banking system and start to do something about it. So the central banking system doesn't want any country to default, but they want to keep them on the edge. Because this is how they control the country. Okay, people can be bought. I want to say duh again, but there's people who don't believe people can be bought. How crazy. Anyway, back to the Bitcoin and our billion coin. And the difference is when I realized that these other cryptocurrencies that were all going on these trading exchanges were going to be limited. Bottom line, they were going to be limited and they were going to be manipulated. Then I paid attention to what I was reading about the billion coin because I just found it by accident. I was doing research on Bitcoin and then a video popped up on the right side. You know how they do, suggest you watch these videos. And there was something there, TBC, the billion coin. And I said, well, wait a second, the billion coin, TBC, I'm not used to seeing that on the trading exchanges. I already owned some Bitcoin, but I wasn't trading, but I was curious to see what other people were doing. I bought it to hang on to it because I knew supply and demand, it would go up every year. But it wasn't a get-rich type thing for me, right? So I started to watch the videos and said, well, wow, this is different. It's so different. Is it real? And I had the same kind of questions that everybody else did at that time. That's not real. How can it be real? It's not on the trading exchange. How can it be a coin, a real official coin, if it's not on the trading exchange? That's the way their mentality was. And I understood that. But then I said, well, wait a second. There's nobody forcing anybody to be on a trading exchange. I knew enough for the reasons why anybody gets on a trading exchange, why any public company goes and has an IPO and gets on the stock market. I know why. So I wanted to know why this coin didn't want to go that route. So I did, my homework. And that's what got me involved a year ago. So at a year, we had 97,500 members after 1 year. Okay, it was a slow growth. Some people think that fast for having a community. Literally, we have a community. You could say Bitcoin has a community. There's 12 million people out there, supposedly. That's an approximate figure, because there's no way of knowing for sure. Because just no way. That's the way it's set up. It's completely private, everything. But if you look at all the wallet systems that are out there and you look at the transactions being done on the trading exchanges, you can get an idea of how many people own the coin, an approximate. And it's approximately 12 million right now. Okay, so there's a community of 12 million, but those members don't know who each other are. And there's no communication coming down from Satoshi saying, hey, guys, this is what we're going to do. Hey, everything's going good. Here's another, way for this or that. No, there's nothing there. People are on their own with Bitcoin. They're on their own with all those other ones. Sometimes we know the owners. Sometimes we don't, right? Okay, with us, the billion coin, the owner and creator is anonymous. Okay, and for obvious reasons, because this coin is different and he's doing different things, and it's a humongous threat to the central banking system. Imagine 1 billion members involved in our coin. Imagine the economy we would have. Even when we get our membership up to 100 million, a tenth of where we're going, of our first goal. Okay, that will max out the price of the coin. And whatever, if it was it will max out at today's price of gold, will max out at 2.2 billion euros. Each coin. That's what each coin will be worth. If you had one coin, you'd be a multi-billionaire right now. Now, when we get done promoting We have promotions. We are controlling our wealth distribution. That's what makes this so exciting, because we have created a leverage system that history has never seen. People have never seen this kind of leverage. By the way, let me check my live stream and see if my Wi-Fi is working any better than it was yesterday. Yesterday was a disaster.
Kinds of topics that we can, draw from this.
I'm still talking. Okay, it doesn't look like anybody's complaining about the sound today. Okay, thanks guys for showing up. TD, hi. All you guys, Stephen Cuffey, thanks so much, guys. I watch your videos, Stephen. They're dynamite. Anybody that's got a video, I watch, and I'm eventually going to catch up to everybody and go in there and watch at least the beginning of your videos and hit the like button. Okay, and if you've got something that I haven't heard before, then I'll keep watching. Okay, but we've got to support each other with these live broadcasts. Okay, so it looks like I'm doing fairly well with my Wi-Fi. I don't have the best Wi-Fi system in my neighborhood. I talked about that yesterday because it came out so bad. About 24 minutes into the video, just really dumped out. Okay, so what was I talking about? Oh, membership. Okay, we get to our first 1 billion members, and we've got, 1 billion millionaires, and we've got 1 million billionaires. I mean, today, in a world of 7.5 billion people on Earth, we have 2,047 billionaires. That's all, 2,047. And you wonder why the world is in such a mess. Only 2,047 billionaires. When there is enough resources and enough wealth, enough gold and silver for nobody on this earth, none of those 7.5 billion people to be poverty, to be poor, to be suffering the way they are. There's no excuse for it except for the fact that these people have wanted to stay in power for centuries. Okay, it started with the monarchies, the kings and the families, and it moved forward. Okay, and then the Rothschilds, who was a family of bankers from Germany, were doing their thing, and they got into the system. He had 5 sons. They all started to take over the banks of different countries so that they can own the governments, and they succeeded. And then when America was created, they wanted to come over and do it to us. And they did, eventually. And Andrew Jackson ran on a platform that said, hey, vote for me for president, and I'll get rid of this central banking system. I'll get our government back. I'll get our money back. And he won. And he got rid of them. Because the structure wasn't strong enough that he wasn't able to do it. He was. Okay, and then I believe it happened again. Okay, later on in Americans' history, but it was not in place in the early 1900s, and so these group of individuals here in America that were the strong bankers, the Rockefellers and the Chases and the Morgans and the Warburgs and all those guys got together, and they needed to get it passed. They created what they called the Federal Reserve Act. They called their bank the Federal Reserve. It's a private bank, but they threw that word in federal to fool the American people that it had something to do with the government. Okay, and they could hang on to the narrative, therefore hang on and accomplish their agenda. And so they paid and bought politicians and did everything they could to get somebody to sign them into business. Okay, Taft wanted nothing to do with them when he was president between 1908 and 1912. That was his first term. He was the president after Teddy Roosevelt. Okay. Then he wanted a second term. So he went up against a Democrat, if they were called Democrats back then, Woodrow Wilson, who was bought and paid for by the central bankers. He was their man. The problem was that Wilson wasn't popular. He wasn't going to win. There was no chance. Okay, Taft was definitely a shoo-in. And Taft had already told these guys, go jump off a cliff. It's never going to happen under me. Okay, I'm not betraying our country. I'm not turning the money system over to you. It's against our Constitution. Okay, that's the kind of guy Taft was. Okay, so what were the central bankers going to do? They didn't want to wait another 4 years. So they went to Teddy. They went back to Teddy and said, hey, Teddy, do us a favor. We'll take care of you. Do us a favor and run against these two. You'll pull enough votes from Taft that Wilson will win. And that's exactly what happened 3 days later after Wilson took over. He signed the Federal Reserve Act and betrayed our country, along with the help of the betrayer and the traitor, Teddy Roosevelt. We have not had a untraitorous president since then until we got John F. Kennedy. Okay? John F. Kennedy wanted to put everything back on gold. He wanted to create everything solid silver, the economic system. He was draining the swamp. And the swamp wasn't about to allow him to do that. Okay? So we know what happened to John, and then his brother Robert decided, kind of at the last minute, to run for president in '68. Okay, when Lyndon Johnson's was done, Robert decided to run. And here's the situation, in case you're not aware of it. John F. Kennedy barely won. Just like Trump barely won over Hillary. Just like Bush barely won over, now I threw a blank on his name, Mr. Global Warming. That's what happened with Nixon running against John F. Kennedy. Nixon thought for sure he was in. There was no way this guy, John F. Kennedy, who was John F. Kennedy? He wasn't a politician. He was just a rich guy, had a rich father. And so he lost. Okay. And he went crazy. Nixon went psycho. Of course, he was already loony. Okay. But he got so mad it wasn't even funny. You thought Hillary is nuts. Nixon was crazy. Crazy nuts also. So when Nixon was determined to become president again after Lyndon Johnson, he again thought, for sure now there's nobody going to threaten me. I will be president. And then all of a sudden at the last second, Robert decides to run. Okay, well, it hadn't even gotten to the point where he was the actual candidate when they killed him. Okay, they didn't even let him get up that far. And Nixon became our president. He took us off the gold standard in 1971. The crooked traitor did us in. There was a transition period when they switched over to the petrodollar. They said, hey, we don't have any gasoline. This is how things are going to be for a little while. We all felt it. We, those of us alive can remember today that were alive then, even as kids, even at being 13 and 14, not even driving yet. I remember, sitting in the car with my mom in lines and being able to, or not being able to go get gas except on certain days, whatever day it was that you had on your license plate number. But we made it through that period, and then everything got great, right? Because then the central banking system came out with a little piece of plastic. I think they called it master charge, and they said, check this out, American citizens. We're going to give you this card, and it's going to be like a little mini loan system. You can go buy whatever you want using this card, okay? Even if you don't have any cash, okay? And it's credit. It's called credit. It's like a little loan. You're borrowing from us, and you'll pay us interest, but it allows you to buy things right now. And then you could just make little payments every month. If you want to pay us off, okay, but, you don't have to. Of course, the whole point was to make us all paying little payments. Very few people were smart enough to pay that off every month and use it as a backup. Very few. Okay? Just like very few people are always the one that get in on the things when it happens. It's like I've talked about Bill Gates and Microsoft. There was just a few that realized and knew what that stock was going to become back when Bill Gates was saying, okay, I'm going public. This is what Microsoft is. This is what we are. Buy some stocks because this is the future. And most of us didn't understand it. So now those people that invested are multimillionaires and we're not. But even people like Warren Buffett, I've explained, who made all their money in the stock market and is completely controlled by the central banking because that is the system he's made his money on. Okay. He demonizes cryptocurrency because he can't control it. They can't control it. Okay. So Warren Buffett even missed the opportunity for Amazon and he missed Google because he didn't understand the tech. He didn't understand the future. And he admits it. But he has the gall to come out and say, hey, people, I know all about it. He does. In fact, he's even admitted that. But yet he has the gall to come out and tell, hey, people, don't get into cryptocurrency. Don't touch it. Don't get involved. Don't buy any. You'll just be wasting your money. You'll get ripped off. It's not going to be worth anything. It's internet money. Invest in Berkshire. Invest in stocks. Keep your money in your IRAs and everything else you got in our stocks. You'll be fine. In fact, things are looking good for the next 10 years. It's all BS. Okay? System's going to crash because it's either going to crash on its own because this time they can't stop it from crashing because the system has run its course. That's the bottom line when it comes to the central banking system and the devaluation of the dollar and the confidence that they have lost worldwide. You see it already because the US dollar is no longer the reserve currency of the world. For the first time, it's no longer the reserve currency. Countries just have lost their confidence in it. And now with technology and blockchain technology, they are creating their own monetary systems, whether it's on blockchain or whether it's not, and they're just backing it up with whatever they've got as a resource. They're repatriating their gold. China has done it. Russia has done it. China is using their Chinese yuan now to buy oil instead of the US dollar. When they make a deal with Saudi Arabia and Saudi Arabia accepts their yuan, that's the end of the US dollar in China, okay? Over 1 billion people in China. They're the #1 consumers of oil in the world. They don't need our dollar. What do you think is going to happen to all those US dollars over in China? They're going to come back here. That common sense tells you the rest. But you see countries all over the world doing this, and they're watching everything because they know that they have been ripped off by these central bankers for decades, if not centuries. And they're tired of being enslaved. And for the first time, they realize, just like those of us here in America, for the first time realize, now we can actually do something about it. We can chip away at that structure that they've built all these years, and we can bring it down. We have the power. The power is in the people. Unity. Okay? So that's what cryptocurrency represents, and the billion coin represents complete abundance because it has no limitations like the other coin. It is not on the market. We have kept a small amount of control through the wallet system to distribute our coin out evenly among the people. The rich cannot come in and buy what they want. They cannot. It's not allowed. We do have a creator and owner at the head of our coin, and we've been around for 2 years. We went through that horrible transition period last year like all of the other coins because they couldn't do enough transactions fast enough, and it bogged the whole system down because it is an old system. You can call it blockchain 1.0. And I don't know if they can fix it or not, or if they're just going to have to do what we did, which was create a completely brand new, updated, completely modern technology, blockchain 2.0. It took us 6-8 months to build it. Okay, but we're not going away. In spite of what other cryptocurrency people out there, gung-ho Bitcoin people, want to say about us, doesn't matter. Okay, just common sense and a little education makes you realize that we're 100% real. That power is in the people, a small amount of control, and the rest of it decentralized, so it completely remains private. And that's the best of both worlds. It's the best of both worlds. And we can distribute our wealth using leverage, in spite of the fact that the second year, okay, from 2016 or for 2017, last year, March, which was the first year anniversary, to March 21st of this year, 2018, about 4 days after the 21st, about the 25th of March, we went over 3 million members. Okay, so from 100,000 to 3 million, we grew 30 times during our worst year when it came to tech-wise, when it came to being able to do transactions peer-to-peer. Okay, it got so bad with our system because we weren't even on a trading exchange. We were literally doing peer-to-peer transactions, tons of them. Okay, we weren't even on a trading exchange. You have to keep in mind that every trade is a transaction when they're on the trading exchange. That's what bogged down Bitcoin. Okay, and they had to fork off and create another coin in August of last year. In fact, they're in trouble again. It looks like they're doing something on this August 1st. I'm not sure what. I haven't bothered to look because I just hang on to what I've got, and that's it. I have been focused on the billion coin since it hit me what the billion coin represented and what it was. It's unreal. I've just become super passionate about it because I don't see how it can be stopped, but we're going to make sure it doesn't. Because central banking system's watching. Believe me, they're watching everything. Anything that could be a potential threat to them, they're going to watch, and they're going to try to do something to destroy it. But they got their hands full because Trump is coming at them from another side. He's coming at them from all sides. He's attacking the deep state, which is the intelligence community that's been in control of countries and do all the things, manipulations of the governments, create war and chaos and terrorism throughout the world. Okay, and then you've got the central banking system that just keeps us enslaved monetarily. Okay, so the time is now. It's never been any other time. We've never been in a position in history to do what we're doing now because of technology. It's just like when the internet came out, people were like, what is this internet? And there was never the opportunities that were previous to that than there was at that time with the internet. People knew what they could do. So now that we're switching literally, we just started migrating from the old 1.0 blockchain platform to our new 2.0 blockchain platform on May 1st. In fact, we started on April 30th. We started Monday. Okay, we started moving our 3.1 million members over. We're going to take 90 days, make sure we do it all right. There's no bugs in the system, but we've already tested it so much. It's so awesome. It transacts as fast as MasterCard and Visa, maybe even faster. And you can use Visa or MasterCard anywhere, anyone, at any time in the world. Can you do that with Bitcoin? Not even. Bitcoin can transact maybe 10 transactions a second. We could do hundreds of thousands like MasterCard or Visa card in a minute. What does that tell you? It tells you we're going to take our 3.1 million members and blow past Bitcoin in a matter of months, half a year. In fact, if we only grow 30 times like we did last year during a slow time, we'd be close to 100 million by this 100 million members. We will have an economy. At that point, people will be accepting Pringles and not Federal Reserve notes. they'll still be accepting Federal Reserve notes. We'll be still on some kind of a system. Okay, and if we get rid of the Federal Reserve in a year from now, then there'll be U.S. dollars again, but they'll be backed by gold. They have to. That's the only way that you can transition into a new economy, is to bring something of value back to that. Even if the central banking system was to win this war that they're currently losing, even if they were to come out the winners by doing something horrible and distracting the American people, just, you know, whew, they would have to back their new system with gold in the beginning to give confidence to the entire world, because the entire world has already lost their trust in the Federal Reserve note. But if they found out, okay, now they're bringing it out and it's supposed to be based on gold, let's try it. They'd hang on to their power, or their ability to get that power back, because eventually they take that gold back, including everybody else's gold. And they'd be back in control again. Okay? So whether it's Trump and Patriots that win in a central banking system, we will be transitioning into a new money system. There will be money this time, because it'll be backed by gold. That's, you know, that's just my opinion. That's just everyone that I know, that's their opinion. Because it doesn't make nothing else makes sense. Okay, so that's why we base our price on gold, you know, a grain of gold. It's the smallest measurement of gold that there is. It takes 480 grains of gold to make 1 troy ounce of gold. Okay, so it's been on 45 minutes. Actually, there's something I would love to talk about. Randy yesterday, one of our top leaders, okay, in fact, he is our top leader. We call him the voice of TBC here in America. And he has, when we're migrating, now that we're migrating over, and we've seen all the problems that we've had for 2 years, and we have an opportunity to clean the slate, sort of, you know, figuratively, and maybe literally, okay, of the problems. Any small problem that we've had in the past with controlling things and keeping our system healthy and moving forward to our goal, which we will not be stopped. Okay, you're gonna have to kill us. It's already 3.1 million of us. Okay, and we're gonna blow up this year in our membership. Okay, seriously, I think we'll be at 1 billion people in 2 years, which will max the price out and will eliminate poverty in the whole world in 2 years. So stay alive, folks. God willing, right? Keep me alive. I want to see this. We're living in some amazing times. Amazing times. And our creator, not God, but I'm talking about the creator of our billion coin, stays in contact with us with a blog system that's available at our main site, which you'll find all the information and links below in the description of this video. And it's thebillioncoin.info. That's our main site, thebillioncoin.info. Okay, and you can get our blog by going there, or you can just go straight to the blog, which is blog.thebillioncoin.info. Blog.thebillioncoin.info. And he's been posting almost every day since a week after the coin came out. And this is why we have a community. Okay, is there a blog from the owner, from Satoshi Nakamoto, for Bitcoin? Is he leading them? Does he have a mission with his coin? No, he just knew that he didn't want to see what happened in 2008 happen again. And he had, the technology was available at that point for him to create a double encrypted blockchain platform. Thank God. And he did. And that was good enough. Okay, thank you to this Satoshi Nakamoto. And the rest is going to go down in history. Okay. And the billion coin is the first abundance-based coin in the sense that it never goes down in value. It's not being fluctuated value-wise on a market. You don't see it going up and down every day like you do Bitcoin and all the other coins, you know, and you just sit there and it just frustrates the heck out of you probably because you see the coin go up and then go down for 3 days and then go up for 2 days and then go down 5 days and then go up until, you know, the wealthy decide, okay, let's you know, let's do it. Let's pump. And then we'll dump and we'll get more coin. So they can never call themselves abundance coins or abundance-based coins because they're still based on that scarcity debt system. When you put it on a market, that's the central banking system. Okay, so that's what makes us a community, a real community, a community that can't be reckoned with. The more larger our community is, the more power we have. Okay? Because we're humans. Okay, we're people. We're worth so much, it's not even funny. People don't think, you know, we're worth much because they've been lied to. They've been brainwashed. Brainwashing our kids in school. They're all controlled by a corrupt government that's controlled by the central banking system and the deep state, which we're getting rid of. Mark my word. Okay? And God willing, I'm going to be alive to watch it. Okay, so think about this. Now that we're moving over to this new blockchain and we're going to blow everything out of the water, we're going to become a household name. And all this is going to happen. Then we find ourselves in a situation where now admin says, hey guys, we need to get the word out now. Now is really the time that we need to step it up. Who wants to do videos every day? Did I want to? No. Yeah, I made time for it because I'm just so passionate. I can't shut up. So, yeah, sure, I volunteered. And a lot of others have volunteered and are on this live 24/7 broadcast. And our videos not only get made live, but then they stay on our channels forever, right? So people can go back and watch any live broadcast we ever did and learn all they want different ways by looking at all the other ones. They can go to the billioncoin.info and click on broadcast. They can see the live broadcast. All they got to do is click on one of those links and it will take them to, if the person's not live, if it's not the time that you're live, then it will take you to their channel and you'll find out who they are and you can subscribe and click the bell when you see the bell, and then you'll get a notice in your email saying, okay, such and such is live. And then you can go to it whenever you feel like it and watch and say, oh, wow, this person has a different way of talking about it. I like this person. And you might, you know what I'm saying? You're getting where I'm going with this. And we've got people doing it in all different kinds of languages too. French, Dutch, Spanish, Tagalog, you know, anybody. We're in 200 countries. We even got 8 or 9 people in North Korea. How did that happen? It's probably Kim and his immediate family. Okay, but the point is we're just about it, okay? And we need to step it up because this thing is going to go crazy now. And we need to get the word out because we're not into the selling business, okay? Admin is certainly not in the selling business. He doesn't sell any coins. He's completely self-funded. It's amazing. It's amazing to deal with him, and it's amazing to deal with a system where there's absolutely no selfishness. There's absolutely no greed. It's like greed is a foreign word to us. It has changed our minds from that scarcity mindset we've been brainwashed into a mind full of abundance. And when you hit that point where you switch over, you see the whole world differently. And you get excited. And you get crushed too. Because then all of the horror that's out there that you've kept blinders off because you see it, but you don't want to know about it. You don't want to really know about it. It becomes a little bit more focused, and we see it, and we just get mad. Of course, those of us who have some self-control don't get mad, but the realization of what's going on just makes you more passionate about what we're doing to change that. Okay? And God willing, this is the time it's going to get changed. Because it's not going to heal up all of our problems. I've talked about this before. It's not going to eliminate crime just because everybody's got money. It will eliminate the crime caused by lack, but there's still going to be hate. So, but it can do so much good, it's not even funny. Okay, just common sense. Think about it. It's going to free us up. Our own money in our own hands brings us freedom. Freedom. Most of us don't even know what freedom is. We just think this is freedom. This life in America that we've lived since I've lived since 1956. Oh, this is freedom. You know, growing up in the 60s, I thought that was ultimate freedom. You know, I didn't know the opposite. I wouldn't have any clue what was going on in countries like today or in the past with North Korea. I couldn't even comprehend living like that or what it was like in any communist country. It's like, what? When I got old enough to realize what that was, it's like, what? Well, Paul, my mom used to tell me, think about it. Capitalism is this way. Socialism is right in between. And this is how they both work. And this is how they're seen as good, but they can be bad. And I wanted to find out about that. So that was just me. Okay. So I'm passionate, and we're doing these live broadcasts 24/7. Those of us who want to, not all of the slots. We're supposed to do them in half-hour slots. If we run over time. It's no big deal. Someone else has started at 5:30. If there was somebody scheduled after me, I don't remember if there was or not. But we still don't have all 48 slots, half-hour slots filled in the 24-hour period. But we're about 2/3. Okay, just since we started doing this on March 21st. But we're here to educate you and get you educated, and you can get educated really quick. It doesn't take that long. If you go down and get on the main site and see how our coin is different, how the algorithm works, the calculators, get on the calculator page and see how the system has grown from membership of people. And then we will try to tell you the rest. Now, back to what I want to talk about today, because every day I have to go through, for new people who might be watching a video for the first time about the Billion Coin, it popped up on their right side, you know, what is this? And they clicked on and they got me. And I need to tell them, hey, this is what Bitcoin is. I mean, this is what the Billion Coin is compared to Bitcoin, because most people that are doing searches are searching for Bitcoin or some other type of cryptocurrency. They're aware enough about cryptocurrency that they're on YouTube looking it up and they see something about the Billion Coin. And whether they've looked at it before or they haven't, doesn't matter. If they click on somebody's video, then they're going to find out. They're going to get a little bit educated, and then there's going to be information in the description of the video below, and they can go to that site and check it out. And it doesn't take that long to check it out. And then they're either going to believe or they're not. Okay? We're not in the business of convincing people when we have the kind of leverage we have. I mean, if our coin is worth, we got 3.1 million members, it's worth 2.2 euros or $2.80 in US dollars for each of that. That puts us around $7 million a coin right now. $7 million a coin. It's going to eventually max out. If the price of gold is the same today as it is 2 years from now, when we get to 1 billion people, the coin will be worth 2.2 billion euros or 2.8 or 3 billion dollars per coin. Okay, so we're going to have enough Kringles, pieces of it, to completely take care of the other 6.5 billion people on the earth. In fact, we could take care of 50 more billion. Okay, that's what we've designed our coins for, is complete financial abundance. So, where was I? Oh, okay. So I want to talk to you about the changeover in our system and how we're going to eliminate some of the little tiny problems that we've had and have seen in our first 2 years. This is a chance for us to become even better. Okay. Now we vet our people as much as we can because we want like-minded people. Obviously, people that are not selfish. Okay. Just common sense. We put our wealth into their hands, they're going to do something good with it. Okay, so how do we do that? We haven't really had a specific way for the entire membership to do that. And now we've grown to 3.1 million and we're just going to take off. There has to be some kind of a system. So admin came up with a 10-question questionnaire that anybody knew. In fact, even us that are taking our old system, our own blockchain system and our old wallets, and they're moving it over to the new. When we go to move over and migrate, we're going to have to fill out that same 10 questions. What these questions and answers and how you answer will do is vet people out on their own. It will vet people out on their own. The questions and the mission statement that's involved in those questions. The questions are really easy. They're 2 choices. You get to pick one. Okay, if you pick the wrong one, it tells you picked the wrong one. Go back and read it again and answer again. Okay, so you can't fail the test. But if you don't have the right mindset, you're going to say, I don't want anything to do with this billion coin. Okay, and you're not going to sign up. Okay, and you're never going to spend $1. Okay, because there is a $10 lifetime wallet fee that includes no transaction fees, and is that $10 also pays for your first year of the back office for your Kringle Cash, where you'll be able to control your whole system and give away the gift to your family and friends, anybody you love. Okay, that gift is worth around $3,000 right now. We're just giving it away to anybody, man, woman, child. Okay. So here's the leverage. I'll talk about the leverage and I'll go into the questions. I know it's been an hour, but hang in there. It's really interesting. We're only going to go through 5 questions. I'll go through them real fast. The other 5 I'll leave for tomorrow. But anyway, the leverage is this. Our coin is worth $7 million right now. Nobody can buy a coin. So if you can't have a full coin, you can't be a billionaire, right? A multi-billionaire when we max out our price. So because we have control over how we distributed coin, admin, it's what we call admin. Chris Kringle is what we call him because he's Santa Claus. He's giving the gift out. Okay, so Chris Kringle constantly gives us promotions, so that anything that we do to increase the membership, he rewards us. And he balances that system out. It's amazing. It's just amazing, people. Here's the leverage that you're never going to see ever again in your life. For $100 purchase of Kringles at the current Kringle price today, or whatever day you purchase $100 worth, you'll get a certain amount of Kringles. It's not going to make you a billionaire. But during our cookie reward point promo, once that purchase had been verified on both sides to the person, like I said, you can only purchase it from a member who has coin, enough coin, that they can sell you some, and it's not going to hurt them. You know, because the whole point is to hang on to this coin until we have our own economy. In fact, people who have plenty of coin are already making deals. They're buying stuff all over the world. They're buying land, they're buying property, they're buying cars, not from car dealership yet, but there is one car dealership, and I think is about to about to come on here in America. But person to person, peer to peer, you got a used car. Hey, I've got this much in TBC. This is how it works. You're going to see the thing go up in price. I'll give you such and such. You know, like the other day, somebody bought a parcel of land in Arizona for full price TBC. The guy wanted $16,000 for this land in Arizona. Okay, it does have a possibility of having small amounts of gold on it, so it was worth the $16,000. So another guy approached him and said, "Okay, will you take $10,000 in the billion coin, $10,000 worth of Kringles?" And this, you've heard about cryptocurrency? Yeah, I know about Bitcoin. Okay, well, this is how ours work. What do you think? He goes, well, that sounds awesome. Seriously. It's going to go up in value. It's going to go way past 16,000 that I wanted. Yeah, it's going to go way past it. Okay, come and take a look at it. The guy took a few days to look into it on his own, do his own homework on it. And he came back and said, yeah, you know, let's make a deal. I'll sell you this parcel of land here in Arizona for 10,000 worth of Kringle. And the deal was done. This just happened a few days ago. Okay. And there's deals happening like that because that's where we're going. That's where things are headed. People are waking up all over the world. Okay, so why did I start talking about this? Oh, so we're just vetting the system. Okay, so people that don't understand what we're doing, and we'll just stop right there and not get involved. And so they're going to learn that before they spend a dime. Okay, so it's all good. But like I said, that leverage is there. $100 gets you one phone coin. The admin will put in 100 million cookies into your wallet, which can then be transferred over or for 100 million Kringles, which is one full coin. During a period of time, like right now, we're in May, we're in a period of time. For the whole month of May, we are redeeming those cookies. Anybody who's got cookies can, during the month of May, redeem them for real Kringles. And then we'll have another redemption period. This is our second redemption period, by the way. So we'll have another one probably in November. Okay. Select any amount of money you want to be and have, you can create it between now and then. Okay. If you do it now, you can actually get them redeemed if it's before the end of this month. And you'll see one full coin in your back office, which means you will end up, when we max out, with a minimum of $2.2 billion. Okay. In TBC. That will be used everywhere. Because we will have 1 billion people in the world using it. You understand? When we have 100 million, we're gonna be able to use it just about everywhere. So we don't even need to get to 1 billion. But can you imagine 1 billion? That's it. All 7.5 million people are going to have Kringles and be using it, along with monetary systems are available in their countries or worldwide, just like it is today, except all of it's fiat. It's not based on anything. So people are switching back to gold, switching back to their own resources, basing it on their money, creating new monies, and getting into cryptocurrency and creating a cryptocurrency for each country. They're watching Venezuela right now because Venezuela came out with the petrol coin, based it on their oil, but because of the sanctions, again, there's only sanctions because of the central banking system in the deep state. There's going to be no need for sanctions when all countries get their freedom back. Okay, there's not even going to be any reason for war. Well, there might be, but there's going to be other routes. Okay, because believe me, wars have been started, and they get started because of the evil that the deep state does with the backing of the central bankers. They make the money. They don't care who wins the war on both sides. Okay, so these countries are watching Venezuela because they came out with their petrodollar. They based it on the oil that's in their country, but they can't sell the oil because of the sanctions. So the people didn't really have too much confidence in it. A few of them started using it, but they kept saying, "Are you government? Are you guys going to sell the oil?" You know. So finally, the new government said, "Hey, we'll base it on gold. We repatriated all our gold. We got it in our own country, citizens. It's here. It's not some vault in America or in London. It's right here." So now we're going to back it with gold. So everybody's watching Venezuela, and they will succeed with this coin. And when that happens, every single country out there will wake up. If they're not only woken up, but they're already waking up, but they're going to, all of a sudden, the light's going to go on and say, bam, we can do this now. We don't need that Federal Reserve note. We don't need their control. We don't need to be in debt to some private banking system. We can create our own cryptocurrency and back it by gold or any other resource we have. Heck, we can back it by our land. Our land is worth something. So it's unlimited what you can back up a monetary system with, right? Anything that is a resource that's limited can be used as money. These days, you can use land as money because it backs up a money, a coin, a paper, whatever is being used as your exchange. And now with tech the way it is in this world, everything's done electronically through the internet. Okay? So even digital cash that the central banking systems come up with, it's all digital. That's how they make money. Okay? They just make more money. It's not money. They just make more currency. And that's the problem with that system. That's why it's got to go down. But anyway, Trump and Patriots are going to crash it because we have to. It's the only way to get rid of it is to crash it. So there will be a transition period. It's going to be soft if we and Trump win, and it will be hard if they win. Okay, so we always tell people, be a little bit prepared. Use some common sense. A little food, a little extra water, a little extra medicine, a little extra cash, because we'll still be on a cash system. Except the banks will shut down. They won't let you have your cash. So have and you'll be fine. Okay, so the leverage is important to talk about every day. I have to mention that leverage because you're never going to see it again. $100 will make you a multi-billionaire. I know that sounds crazy. You have to have the right mentality to realize when something's real. It's just like so many of us did not have the right mentality when Bill Gates came out with his IPO for Microsoft. Did we all jump in and buy up the stock? No, we didn't. Because we just didn't have any clue. We just didn't believe in it. Okay? So we're doing what we can to talk to as many people as we can, and we'll continue to do so. And as more people come in, they will turn around and talk. And when we have a system that can be accepted at every single cash register in the world, just like that, imagine how fast we're going to grow. Okay? And we're not the only abundant-based coin that's going to be around. There's going to be others. In fact, I know of one that's going to come out from Telegram messaging service a year from now. Okay? And so far, it's not on the trading exchange. Their ICO was not based on a trading exchange promise. Come buy our coins, it'll get doubled when we go on the trading exchange. No. They came out with an algorithm just like we did. But instead of being based solely on every person, it's based on every purchase of the coin. Every time a person purchases their coin, the coin is raised up a fraction of the price. I mean, the price is raised up by a fraction. Okay, and you know how small those fractions can be. The whole point is that that's the way the algorithm runs. It can't help itself but to go up in value because every new person that makes a purchase after another one is buying it at a little bit higher price. That's an abundance-based coin. You understand what I'm saying about abundance? The price can never go down. Now, you know, the guy that runs Telegram, he's a smart guy. Okay, but I don't know exactly what he's doing. I don't know him that well. I just know he's really smart. And he's done extremely good with his Telegram messaging service. It's been out since 2013. Last month, there was 200 million chatters. 200 million chatters on Telegram. Why? Why? Because it's private. It's completely private. Not even Telegram knows what people who are using their free app are chatting about. No third party. None. Zip. Can you imagine? So people in the know have bought this coin already. They've blown out all the records for an ICO. They've brought in $1.7 billion already. And their coin isn't even coming out till April of 2019. What does that tell you? It tells you that the more time that goes on, the more educated people get, the more familiar they get with how things work, and that builds their trust, and they're getting involved. Now, why haven't you heard about it? It's because you're not in the system. We're so busy running our lives, and there's nothing wrong with that. We've all got lives to live. We've got responsibilities. We've got things to do. But sometimes we need to take a little bit of time and get a little educated on things that really matter, which is money. Because money is directly tied to freedom. And if we want to hang on to the partial freedom we seem to have, but imagine if we had complete and total freedom and things weren't the way they were. And we could afford any car we wanted. We could afford any house we wanted. We could build anything we wanted. We could do anything we wanted because there was no lack. No lack whatsoever. Because there is no lack. We've been lied to. I'm not crazy. A little bit crazy. No. Seriously. I'm not. It's real. It's out there. You don't have to take my word. Just go do some research. Take the time. If you're going to take the time to do anything, learn about things that will create freedom or keep what freedom you have and increase it to things that you've never been able to imagine because we've been raised our whole lifetimes. If you're my age, we've been raised our whole lifetimes under this debt-based system. We know nothing else. Okay. Let me quickly go over to these questions that I talked about. Okay, I'm gonna have to put my glasses on to read this. Let me see if I can increase. Well, that didn't work. Ooh, that helps. Okay, but I still gotta keep my glasses on.
This from the.
All right, so what's gonna happen now is we're gonna be able to vet the new members, which is a really good thing because they're gonna vet themselves. Okay, they're gonna vet themselves before they come in and spend any money, and then afterwards, oh, I shouldn't have done this. Oh, I feel like this is a scam. I shouldn't have done this. There's no refunds, right? There's no refunds with money. We're not a multi-level marketing company. We're not a retail company. We're money. Okay. So it says here, it starts out, and this is what we're all going to have to go through. Even the 3.1 million of us that are already involved, when we migrate over, we're going to have to go through these 10 questions. It's really easy. Okay. But this is really, really interesting. And this is going to give you a really good idea of what our mission is. Okay, and what our statement is, and what our goals are, and where we're heading. It's gonna either impress you like crazy, or you're just gonna think it's a joke. Okay, so it starts out by saying send button test. Your world is rapidly changing, and a window of opportunity has opened for humanity to move in the direction of abundance for all. While the status quo is quickly moving towards exercising greater power and control over the masses through technology. This window of opportunity will be shut within the next couple of years if we let them close it. Collectively, our children will inherit the world we leave behind. When enough of humanity embraces abundance as a lifestyle, together, we can empower each other to enjoy it. We want people to understand our coin and its purpose and mission before they make a purchase or pay any fees for it. Passing this test will demonstrate you do understand what we are offering and agree to willingly participate within our private community. Let me see if I can read this without my glasses. Maybe I can. It's a little blurry. The value of our coin is directly tied to our membership agreement and has nothing to do with a market, which is why our coin always appreciates in value as our membership grows. We know this is highly unusual within our world as it is today. We lead in the abundance movement with this coin. It has been designed to empower its users greatly. All of this is based on the idea that a living man or woman is actually worth more than their weight in gold. Life is more valuable than any pile of rocks. Now, the first question. What determines the value of our coin? And there's two answers. The first one is it is based on the supply and demand of it as it is traded in the open public markets. You can answer that one. B, it says, as living men and women, we are more valuable than gold, and they agree to add their value to the value of our coin. It appreciates in value as each new member joins the community. Okay, so obviously after what we just read, after we were made to read that, the second answer, B, is the answer. Okay? So we would just check off the right answer. And if we get it wrong, we go back and read that again and it will work. Okay, now what's going on here? Oh, I know what's going on. I've got it up too high. Hang on just a second. Bear with me. Well, something's gone wrong for now. Oh, there's a 500 eternal server error. Something went wrong. Let me refresh the page and see if that works. Okay, it seems to be working. Hang on. Maybe I'll just do 2 questions each day. Then I can let you guys go. So I'll just do 1 more question today. That one went too far. Okay. Okay. Second little paragraph that gives you information before you answer the second question goes like this. Because we are a private community, we are entitled to self-regulation with our centralized coin network, and discounters of our coin will have their send buttons turned off by admin. Other abusive behavior, oh wait, hang on, I lost it again. I seem to have lost it again. Let me try to get back to it.
Hi, Papa.
Hi, Bobbins.
Look.
Okay, I'm in the middle of a video. Let me finish the video, and then I'll be able to watch all I want. Okay. All right. Here we go. Other abusive behavior within our community could also result in the same thing. If a member's send button is turned off, they will be given a period of time to reform, and then they can get their send button turned back on. We have seen that decentralized coins tend to lose their value because of a small number of people discounting them will drive the price down sharply and ultimately create loss for all users of those coins. A coin such as ours, which is based on the principle of abundance, requires a responsible admin to regulate its use centrally. The best view our coin is as community property, and each member is a steward over their portion. This is implied within the membership agreement. Now, if you don't understand what I just said in that last sentence, you could take it wrong, okay? But if you do understand, then you know it's a really, really good thing. It's a really, really good thing. It changes nothing. In fact, it only makes everything better, okay? Just believe me. Okay, now here is the second question, if I can get this right. Okay, here's the second question. Are you allowed to transact with our coin at any price of your choosing? It's either no or yes, right? So you can say, no, our coin is part of a private community and you have to conduct all transactions at the published current price only. It sounds like the right answer, okay? It is the right answer. As a B would be yes. You purchased the coin and it's your property to use as you wish at whatever price you want. Okay, obviously that's the wrong answer. Okay, and then it goes into question 3, and I'll leave that for another day. I'm glad if any of you guys stuck around to watch this much. It's almost been an hour and a half. So tomorrow I'll try to do those questions rather quickly so we can get more of that done because it's just so interesting. It's so cool. Okay, but I'll have to give a little less basics on what our coin is and why it's so different. It's just that I'm so passionate about this and I've got to get that information out while I can in case you're first and new to watching a video like this. Okay, guys, I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Love you all. Take care. Have a great night and a great week. I'll be here tomorrow, same time, same place, same channel, 5 o'clock Pacific Daylight Saving Time, God willing. Something could always come up and I may not be here. If I'm not here by 5:01, then I'm not going to be here. Okay. So, all right, hang in there and be happy. Don't worry. See you guys later.